Yeah, what's up guys, we're back at it, and today I want to talk about the few things that I really don't like about the Kawasaki Z900 RS Cafe. Now the first thing I don't like about the Z900 RS Cafe is the seat. Now the stock seat wasn't as tapered as this one. It was a little bit wider, a little bit taller, and more rigid, and that put a lot of pressure on your legs and would almost make them go numb after a few minutes. This new seat, it's about 2 inches lower, it's more tapered in the front, and it's more plush. With the stock seat, since it's higher up, it puts more strain on your wrists, more strain on your neck, and more strain on your lower back, trying to reach the handlebars, which are also lower than the Kawasaki Z900 RS. Now one thing that's pretty annoying about this bike is that sometimes it gets stuck in neutral. Say you come to a red light, you put it in neutral to relax, and then when you shift down to first, it won't engage. You stand there and you're looking like an idiot, hopping on the shifter, nothing's happening. So if that ever happens to you, what you have to do, engage the clutch, and then you have to rock the bike forward while you hit down, and then you'll find first. I don't know why, I'm not the only one. I've heard people on Kawasaki forums have the same issue, something they gotta fix. Now for some reason, the throttle on this bike, especially between first and second gear, it's really twitchy. It's like you roll on the throttle, but it's either off and on. It's not like a gradual, smooth transition. Even if you are really gentle with the throttle, it's kind of like bam, bam, you know, off on, off on. It's not a gentle, smooth transition. You really have to finesse it. And once you get the muscle memory, you'll get it. But initially, you'll be like, it's like riding a bucking bronco, all right? So prepare for that. Now take a look at these mirrors. I know they're inspired by the 1972 Kawasaki Z1, which this whole bike is inspired by, but I just don't like that they're just kind of look like a scooter mirror. You know, they're just big and round. They don't go with the lines of the bike. The bike is so smooth and classy and flows, and then it's just like these big Dumbo ears. So I actually bought a new set. I'm gonna put those on pretty soon. We can make a video of how to remove and how to install some new mirrors on your Kawasaki. Check out this plasticky blob of a fender. I know it's pretty standard and I'm being really picky, and you can get a fender eliminator, but just like straight out the box, I'm sure there's regulations they have to follow. But could they choose something a little, I don't know, less ugly? Now this bike, it's one of the most beautiful things you'll ever lay your two eyes on. There's just a few little things that were taken away from its shine, and I felt like it was the badging. You know, there was a big Kawasaki badge here, a big badge that said Z900 RS, a big Kawasaki decal on the front, and then I just used a little Goo Gone and some floss to get rid of those. And it really did a good job at just cleaning up the bike and keeping it classy. Look, I know I'm being really picky, but these are just little things that grind my gears, all right? The radiator here, I know it's liquid cooled, it needs it, but it's thin, it's pretty discreet. It's just still a little blocky. You can get a little cover to make it look a little cooler that says like Z900 RS or something. It's just little things that get me, because the bike is so classy, the lines are so nice, and then this is just like a big rectangle in the front. Now this next thing, it's not a dislike, it's just something you have to buy as an additional add-on, and that's heated grips. They sell a nice set for $300 or so, and it's got a low, medium, high setting. It's something I think is really worth looking into, especially if you're gonna be taking road trips. You never know, at nighttime, it can get pretty chilly. I'd look into getting some heated grips. Now on the Kawasaki, there's no cruise control. So what I did, I just bought a cramp buster. It's just a little piece of plastic, goes right on the throttle, and if you angle it up just a little bit, when you rest your wrist on it, it'll engage the throttle. If you angle it up more and you rest your wrist, you're really gonna be flying, all right? And then to disengage it, you just put it down in a neutral position, and then you won't even feel it, and then it won't affect your throttle control. But all in all, I can't really knock this bike too much. You know, it's one of the rare bikes that straight out the box doesn't need any major modifications. You know, it can go cafe to cafe, it can go coast to coast. If you're looking for a sweet bike, not a cruiser, not a sport bike, but the best of both worlds, I'd recommend checking out the Kawasaki Z900 RS Cafe.